We got part 2 of the sexy games on the horizon for 2021. And this video is brought to you by no one because we have no sponsors. But I hope you enjoy this video. We're covering the games we are most excited for that have been announced for 2021 thus far. So I hope you enjoy this. If you haven't watched part 1, go ahead and watch that and then come back to this one and watch part 2. So let's go. Let's get started. We got a lot to cover. Let's go. As with the last video, I'm going to start off each game by reading the publicly facing information about it that the developers have posted, and then I'm gonna give my 2 cents on why I'm excited for this specific game. Alright, let's get started. This is Back 4 Blood, and if you played Left 4 Dead, you know what this game is. Back 4 Blood is a thrilling cooperative first-person shooter from the creators of the critically acclaimed Left 4 Dead franchise. You are at the center of a war against the Ridden. These once human hosts of a deadly parasite have turned into terrifying creatures bent on devouring what remains of civilization. With humanity's extinction on the line, it's up to you and your friends to take the fight to the enemy, eradicate the Ridden, and reclaim the world. Fight your way through a dynamic, perilous world in a 4-player co-op story campaign where you must work together to survive increasingly challenging missions. Play with up to 3 of your friends online or go solo and lead your team in battle. Choose from 8 customizable cleaners, 1 of the immune survivors, and a range of lethal weapons and items. Strategize against an ever-evolving enemy bent on your total destruction. Play with or against your friends in PvP. Switch between playing as a cleaner with special perks and the horrific Ridden. Both sides come with unique weapons, abilities, and specialties. A new roguelite card system creates different experiences each and every time, putting you in control to craft and customize your deck, roll different builds, and undertake more demanding fights. The game director is constantly adjusting to player actions, ensuring exciting fights, extreme gameplay diversity, and tough legions of Ridden, including mutated boss types up to 20 feet tall. I am so excited for this game. Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 were a big focus for a lot of my friends with way back in the day, and hopefully Valve picks up a 3rd one day, but this seems to be delivering the 3rd one that we've been hoping for quite a long time, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Definitely going to be playing this, and hopefully some of you guys that are watching join me. Shadow Warrior 3. This game has a bit of vulgar comedy in it, and that's really helped the first 2 games stand out for me, and they're kind of like the Serious Sam type of comedy, which you haven't watched my video on Serious Sam 3, go check that out. But enough about that, let's get into the game. Let's talk about some of the details. Let's see. So fallen corporate shogun Lo Wang and his former employer turned nemesis turned sidekick, Orochi Zilla, embark on an improbable mission to recapture an ancient dragon they unwillingly unleashed from its eternal prison. Armed with a punishing mix of blades and bullets, Lo Wang must traverse uncharted parts of the world to track down the dark beast and push the apocalypse back yet again. All it will take is the mask of a dead god, a dragon's egg, a touch of magic, and enough firepower to hold off the impending cataclysm. Conduct a symphony of death with each encounter by mixing overwhelming firepower with devastatingly precise katana strikes as you dash in and around the demonic hordes. Flow between nimble movement techniques including air dashes, wall running, double jumps, and the fancy new grappling hook bust your combat and movement options wide open in every battle. Execute spectacular finishing moves to claim a piece of your conquered foe and unleash its powers back on the horde in a burst of unstoppable fury and powerful magic. Each environment is lined with hazardous structures and devices that can be activated to add another layer of creative choice to your offensive strategy. Trek across a mystic Asian land infused with the magic and technology of ancient samurai, now overrun by the demonic yokai from Japanese folklore. Brace from expertly delivered one-liners from Lo Wang, pointed banter with Zilla, and an intense thrill ride of absurd predicaments on the way to turning Doomsday into a new day. So, Shadow Warrior 1 was a single-player game. Shadow Warrior 2 was single-player if you want, but it had co-op in it. You could play the entire campaign co-op. Looks like Shadow Warrior 3 is going to be full single-player again. So that's kind of weird to see. Single-player, co-op, then back to single-player. But I'm all for it. I like co-op games, obviously, but I like good single-player games as well. I'll definitely check this game out. It's... graphically, it looks amazing. Looks really good graphic-wise. The combat's always fast-paced in these games, and I enjoy that. And like I said, it's got a lot of those those vulgar one-liner type of things, which you'll see in the trailer. It's pretty funny. I'm sure you'll get a few laughs out of this game as you play it, and I definitely recommend checking this thing out. So I hope you like the way Shadow Warrior 3 looks, and let's move on.
Honey, I'm home.
The next one on our list, Biomutant. Biomutant is an open-world, post-apocalyptic kung fu fable RPG with a unique martial arts-style combat system allowing you to mix melee, shooting, and mutant ability action. A plague is rooting the land and the Tree of Life is bleeding death from its roots. The tribes stand divided, explore a world in turmoil, and define its fate. Will you be its savior, or lead it to an even darker destiny? I'm just going to stop right there. I'll continue on in a second, but this game is so, like, quirky and beautiful looking in a different type of art style that I can't help but like kind of flow towards this game and be like, wow, I really want to pick this up. It's just so good looking visually, and it's got like this quirky style to it that makes it stand out from everything else. So it just looks like a very fun, wacky game to play. You know, it looks like something that's out of the ordinary, not something I normally play, but that's what actually is so appealing about this thing, is it's out of my normal realm of games, and it really makes me want to play this. Anyway, let's read some more about this thing. So, key features: a new take on third-person combat. The martial arts style combat system allows you maximum freedom of movement and agility while mixing shooting, melee, and powers from your mutations. Learning new Wung Fu combat forms through progression and learning from masters you'll meet will constantly add to your choices and make sure combat never gets old. Evolve your gameplay. You'll be able to recode your genetic structure to change the way you look and play. This will of course affect your attributes, and in addition to this, exposure to biocontamination in the world will lead to mutations like the turtle form and mucus bubble, while exposure to radioactivity found in bunkers from the old world will affect your mind and unlock psi mutations like telekinesis, levitation, and more. Next level of crafting. You're totally free when crafting weapons. Mix and match parts to create your own unique one-handed or two-handed slash and crush weapons, revolvers, rifles, and shotguns, and add modifications like corkscrews and battery-powered chainsaw modules to biocontaminated sludge vials, adding to your combat arsenal. That's a mouthful. There are even characters you'll meet that'll craft cool stuff for you, like bionic wings, a jump pack, and even let you modify your automaton? The Scrap Toy Sidekick. Interesting. Gear up your adventure. You are totally free when equipping your character, not only when it comes to choosing weapons you created, but what type of gear you wear. Equip a gas mask and an oxygen tank for exploring the dead zones, thermos-resistant clothes for venturing into cryonic areas, or protective gear for taking on biocontaminated creatures. The choice is up to you. Survive in a vibrant open world. You are free to explore the world and what lies beneath its surface by foot, mech, jet ski, air balloon, or area-unique mounts. Exploring the dying wildland, the tunnels and bunker networks of the underworld, and find your way up the mountains or out in the archipelago. There are lots of discoveries to be made, mysteries to unravel, creatures to confront, and weird creatures to meet in this vibrant and colorful world. An unusual story with an unusual end. Your actions play a major part in the unfolding of a story where the end is coming to the new world. A plague is ruining the land and the Tree of Life is bleeding to death from its roots. The tribes stand divided, in need of something strong enough to unite them or bring them all down. You are guided through the world by a storyteller that narrates every step of your journey. But it's your actions and choices that will decide how your story of survival ends. Ooh. So I didn't even know about that. I just learned about that right there. There's a narrator that talks as you play the game. That reminds me of Bastion, one of my favorite games of all time. That goes on like my top 5 list for single player games. Bastion is incredible. I'd probably place it around 3 or so if I had to place my top 5. Loved it. Loved the storytelling. Loved the narration. I would love to see something like that in here with a really, really good voice actor. That could really, I don't know, make the story, I don't know, sink in a little bit, you know? When you have someone constantly, you know, I don't know, talking to you and telling you what's going on in the story, stuff like that. It's very nice to play. This game looks so weird. It looks so like I said before, wacky, right? That's the way that I would describe this. It's like so out of the ordinary of what we would normally see. But that's what's like, I don't know, so appealing about it to me is it's so different. It's different than any other game I could say that I've pretty much ever played. I can't name another game like this. If you can, throw that in the comments. I'd love to hear what would you compare this to? Like a Banjo-Kazooie type of thing from way back in N64 days? That looks really cool. All right, let's move on because there's a lot more games to get to. Atomic Heart. There's not much to know about this game, but let's read what we do know. It's going to release this year, and it's a single-player game, and here's some information about it. The story is about all the things that could have happened in the reality of the USSR, but didn't. Technical revolution has already occurred, robots, the internet, holograms have already been invented. But all these innovations are immersed in the atmosphere of communism, imperialism, and confrontation with the West. The protagonist of the game, a Soviet special duty KGB officer, ends up at one of the complexes of the facility 3826 during a massive robot control system malfunction. The game world consists of huge open-world regions full of lush Soviet nature and less spacious territories of the facility complexes with its secret underground and above-ground labs, bunkers, and robotic logistics systems. Most of the enemies are a variety of machines produced at the facility. Each robot was originally made to serve the needs of the Soviet industry or to help the Soviet citizens in their daily life. The robots are implemented with a combat program that should be activated in case of war. So, like I said, there's not much to know about this game. There's a Q&A. I'll see if I can get a link posted in the description below if you want to read a little bit about the Q&A. But it's a single-player game that looks really weird, but it's so weird that it's out of the ordinary of what we normally get. So I'm looking forward to trying something a little different, and I definitely think this game delivers on that front. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys like the way Atomic Heart looks, and looking forward to creating some future content on this. Not much is known about this next game. This one is called Evil West. It's set to release this year, and there's supposed to be a hell of a lot more information coming out about it very soon, within the next month or so. We'll probably start seeing some gameplay. But let's read a little bit about this. Evil never sleeps, but it bleeds. A dark menace consumes the American frontier. As one of the last agents in a top-secret vampire hunting institute, you are the final line between humanity and a deep-rooted terror that now emerges from the shadows. Rise up to become a Wild West superhero, eradicate the vampire threat, and save the United States. That sounds wild, man. In visceral explosive combat, unleash hell with your firearms, lightning-fueled gauntlet, and gadgets. Kill bloodthirsty monstrosities in style as a lone hunter or in co-op with a friend. Explore and fight in a narrative-driven campaign while upgrading your weapons and hunting tools. Unlock new perks to evolve your monster-slaying mastery, crafting your own playstyle to defeat the supernatural hordes. Battle alone or with a friend in stylish, gory action combat. Myths and legends retold within a stylized, weird Wild West universe. Evolve with perks, upgradable weapons and tools. Explore and fight through a story-driven campaign to save America. America! This game sounds wild. It sounds crazy, and it also can be played co-op. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. A co-op campaign with a friend in a game like this. That sounds amazing. I would love to say it looks amazing, but we don't have gameplay yet. We don't have any gameplay to sink our teeth in yet, so we're going to have to wait for that, and I will definitely update you guys as soon as we get that. We'll kind of look at that trailer and that gameplay, whatever they release, together. We'll do a little bit of a video first look type thing, and I'm super excited for this game, and I really hope it does deliver this year. They say 2021, but it was only just like really revealed in December, so I'm skeptical on the 2021 release date, but it could happen. But if any game on this list was delayed till 2022, it probably would be this one. But hell, I'm okay waiting. I have no problem waiting. So I hope you like the way Evil West looks and sounds thus far, and yeah, let's move on to the next game. Next game on our list, Outriders. Outriders is a 1 to 3 player co-op RPG shooter set in an original, dark, and desperate sci-fi universe. As mankind bleeds out in the trenches of Enoch, you'll create your own Outrider and embark on a journey across the hostile planet. With rich storytelling spanning a diverse world, you'll leave behind the slums and shanty towns of the first city and traverse forests, mountains, and deserts in the pursuit of a mysterious signal. Combining intense gunplay with violent powers and an arsenal of increasingly twisted weaponry and gear sets, Outriders offers countless hours of gameplay from one of the finest shooter developers in the industry, People Can Fly. Outriders' brutal and bloody combat combines frenetic gunplay, violent powers, and deep RPG systems to create a true genre hybrid. Discover the hostile planet of Enoch as you embark on a journey for the source of a mysterious signal. Play single player or join up to 2 friends and drop in, drop out co-op as you tackle the horrors of a hyper-evolved planet. Create and customize your own Outrider and choose from 4 unique classes, each with its own skill tree to define your own playstyle. Customize and upgrade your Outrider with countless items of moddable guns and gear as you leave humanity behind. Oh baby. Ooh. 3-player co-op game with RPG elements, third-person shooter. Ooh. Man, it's got skills and customizable characters. It's like they've been listening to me talk about co-op games I want. Damn. This is perfect. It's got some magic, some fireballs, and the guns you want, and progression. Oh, this looks so good. Impale people on spikes. I'm really looking forward to this. And the environments look awesome with the it's got like a trench warfare type of level here, like one of your old World War I and II type of like battlefields, but in a futuristic setting. Turrets. You set up like a fireball turret. That is so cool. I can't tell you how excited I am for this game. And this game's not that far off. April 1st is the planned release date. Hopefully we do not get a delay. And I'll say this as well. There's another video out there from the devs talking about PC-specific adjustments they're going to have for the game. Like allow you to, like the fundamentals of your PC settings, right? Like your FOV and all your quality of life improvements for PC players. And they're in tune with the PC gaming world, I'll say that, like they're not gonna give us a piece of crap that doesn't have any of the settings we truly want in our PC games. They got everything. I was looking at the video and they show you all the video settings. I'll link that down below. I just don't want to you know what? Forget it. We're putting it in this video. We'll put it in this video. We're not going to make you go search for other stuff. We're going to put it here. You guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. They have a video showing off all the PC-specific stuff, like the FPS limit, all the stuff we get that we really want in any sort of port or anything of the sort. This is not a port, thankfully. It's made for PC, so looking real good. I'm excited for this one. Hopefully you guys like the way this looks. But let's move on. Let's go. We got some other games to check out. Next game on our list, Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. We are all outlaws, but some of us will become legends. Faced with the merciless, unchecked state, rebels and rogues battle to claim their place among legends. To win influence with an oppressed people, rival gangs compete in daring heists to hit the wealthy where it hurts. Folk hero or gold-hungry outlaw, only the best will escape with hard-earned riches. 2 teams of 4 players compete to execute the perfect heist in medieval environments patrolled by deadly AI guards. With the unique skills and mystical abilities of each character, moving in stealth to steal treasures unseen or dominating through loud and brutal combat. Blood will be spilled, riches will be stolen, legends will be reborn. Outplay opponents in intense PvPvE multiplayer heists. Experience a violent medieval world where ancient mysticism competes with man-made power and corruption. Claim your loot and invest in perks, weapons, and bold new looks. Post-launch support with new maps, characters, game modes, and events. I like the way this looks. I get a lot of my competitive type of gameplay from MMOs, and not so much first-person shooters anymore. but this looks like some more of your action third-person MMO type of combat, which is right up my alley. It's exactly what I like in my competitive games, these type of games. So I like that. They say you can go stealth, they say you can go loud, and yeah, I think a 4-player crew. My guild would love something like this. Being able to play this on the side, just be like, hey, you guys want to play a game of Hood? I could see us doing that, and it looks great. It looks really fun. One thing I'm worried about is what is the progression? You know, what's the progression like? Do you unlock stuff? Do you get anything? That's my question. And well, it says just to reread this one more time. Claim your loot and invest in perks, weapons, and bold new looks. So I'm assuming you earn stuff like that. We don't really have the details on that, but I'll see if I can find anything else out. Maybe I'll contact the devs and see if I can get a little bit of information about the systems, because that's the one thing I think would seal the deal for me, is a nice progression system. Ooh, some good-looking games this year, right? Not bad. We're going to be covering all of those games, plus more. It's going to be tech topics. We're going to cover just opinion pieces where I talk about some stuff in the world of gaming. All sorts of games, AAA, indie, early access, alpha, beta, whatever it may be. We're going to be covering a ton of stuff on this channel. So if you're not subbed, would absolutely appreciate the sub. And I hope you enter the 3080 giveaway before it's too late. And we're going to have a ton more giveaways. After this one ends, we'll spin another one up right away. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're as excited as I am for the games of 2021. And if you haven't watched part 1, make sure you go watch that, because this is the end of part 2. And I will catch you in the next video. Skid out!